Welcome back to another episode of the Experts in Fire podcast. I'm your host, Mike Vennard, and with me today is Randy Mowry. Today's episode is what to consider before purchasing an outdoor gas fireplace. Let's get into it. Today's episode is brought to you by the Flamecraft Tondo Gas Fire Pit. The Tondo features a two-piece interlocking design that's easy to assemble and light enough to ship ground. With 36 possible color combinations, it's easy to customize the Tondo to match your style. Go with a solid color scheme or mix and match your favorite shades for a two-tone look. The Tondo's powerful stainless steel with brass jet burner system also creates maximum flames while using half the fuel of standard burners. Build your Tondo today by visiting www.woodlanddirect.com or call 800-919-1904 to talk to an NFI certified expert. Hey Randy, how you doing, brother?
Fantastic. Mike, how are you today, sir?
I am doing fantastic as well. My voice isn't crackling anymore. I feel like that cup of coffee helped a ton.
Got that first cup of Joe down. We're good to go. Now it's fired up. We may have 8 inches of snow outside or 7 or whatever it is, but we're good.
We're good, man. We're good. We can survive. That's what we do up here in the north. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about what to consider before purchasing an outdoor gas fireplace. We talk a lot about fire pits. We talk about what to consider before buying the type of fire pit that you're going to want, the layout, what's above you, all those types of things. And today we wanted to break it down a little bit more because outdoor fireplaces are very popular. They're beautiful in somebody's backyard. They're going after a particular look. So we wanted to break this down even more for our listeners out there to go, there are certain things you need to consider for this, a fireplace as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. We do a lot of outdoor fireplaces. And we always get the question is, can I put this fireplace in my screened-in patio or this in my open patio area? So I figure we just go through and choose and guide people in the right directions of what they're looking for their home.
Absolutely. So let's talk in terms of where should folks start, Randy?
When people are considering fireplaces, the first thing is, where is it going to go? Where is it going to be installed at? Is this going to be a full open patio area? Like, for example, I have a ranch condo with a full outdoor deck patio area. Okay. Is it going to be that type of application? We're just going to put it at the end of the deck? Or what we're seeing a lot of now are people are building screened-in porches, or they're building outdoor patios with just a roof on it, or they're building a Four Seasons room. So, screens in the spring, and then they kind of pull up some storm windows in the fall. So those are really all different applications of installation, essentially.
Absolutely. And Randy, I'm so glad you brought up Four Season Room. We were at the International Builder Show down in Florida. We were talking with one of our manufacturers down there at the show, and he said that they walked into a living space where somebody had dropped a fire pit, and they said, "What are you doing? You cannot do that." So folks, I just want you to understand, outdoor is meant for outdoor. I know folks think, oh, it's cool, we'll just put it inside. That is a dangerous situation that you're building when it comes to carbon monoxide, when it comes to just the fumes of the gas themselves, and to the flame size. There are rules and laws that are being followed that are going to help protect your home. Safety first, safety first, safety first. So as we walk through this today, outdoor is not meant for indoor. We're talking fireplaces here. So Randy's going to walk us through what types of things can go into enclosed areas, screened-in porches, those types of things. And Randy, all I ask is be specific, because when you say Florida room or, a Four Seasons room, I think everybody has something different pop into their mind depending on where they're at in the country.
Absolutely. And you bring up a great point about the safety part of it. And And I feel that's why we really wanted to touch on this episode, because of folks wanting to put like these outdoor units indoors, and they're two completely different things. So first, we'll just talk about fully outdoors first. Because that's going to be a pretty simple rundown of fireplaces. So fully outdoors patio means fully outdoors on it, whether it's a patio, a deck, a gazebo, it's exposed to the elements. We want to make sure that it's fully outdoor version fireplace. So when it comes to like, we're talking gas fireplaces today. Gas fireplaces for outdoors, what you're going to find is this type of fireplace for installation on a fully outdoor. I can't stress that enough. It's going to have no glass front, meaning that is going to be wide open, meaning once it's built into the facade or wall, whatever you're going to build, you're going to be able to, someone's going to be able to like kind of like run their hand into it where the flames are. Fully open, fully exposed. The nice thing about these outdoor units is there's like the misconception people are going to sometimes they call these vent free, because they don't have a chimney or a vent pipe that comes out of these outdoor fireplaces, these gas fireplaces that have to go through a roof or out the back. Okay. So what they've done is they've designed a burner assembly for these outdoor units, fully open front. It's like what they call maybe like a clean burning. Okay. So just to clarify, vent free, which is indoor fireplaces, have a very specific burner, 99.9% efficient, maximum 40,000 BTUs that are designed to use inside the home. Outdoor units, and I think this is where some of the challenge comes sometimes before, well, it doesn't need a chimney. It's vent free. No, it's not. It's on the clean burning side, because most of the outdoor fireplaces, Mike, they're going to jump into like the 50, 60, 67,000 BTU range. Okay. Immediately, just from that standpoint, the burner assemblies alone, we're putting those into an outdoor category already. So I can't stress that enough, folks, about that part of it, the outdoor unit.
So, Randy, we'll just quickly point out, on the indoor, there are only so many particulates that are allowed into the space. That's why they lower the BTUs on them when it comes to vent-free. On the outdoor, those BTUs bump up some because there's so much fresh air. It's outside, and the particulates aren't taken into account to be in an enclosed area. So the stress for folks to understand, indoor versus outdoor, if it's rated outdoor, then that's where it needs to be, because it needs that outdoor space, it needs the air flow, it needs the movement, and that's to keep you safe.
Correct. Yeah. Indoor units they have safety built-in oxygen depletion systems built into them. So if an oxygen level drops below a certain point, it's going to shut that fireplace off. If it's in too small of a room, or if it was missized for some reason. Outdoor units, you're not going to have that. That's why it's so specific to outdoor units. So outdoor patio, like we talked about. An outdoor unit could be a patio with a roof on it and 3 open sides of the house, wide open. Okay. You're still getting plenty of airflow. An outdoor patio area could be a roof and 2 open walls. Okay. So there are some specifics with an outdoor unit, overhead cover, 3 sides. And this is where, Mike, we're going to refer to all of the manufacturer spec information for the correct calculations, because some of them might even get as detailed as what is the density of the screen. Maybe somebody has a roof, 1 or 2 walls, but the other 2 have screens on them. Well, then you've got to calculate the density of the screen and the openings of the screen to find out if you're going to still have enough air exchange there in order to use an outdoor unit in that application. So we can't stress the safety part of that enough, because if you put an outdoor unit in an application where it doesn't belong, as you've already alluded to, Mike, you're going to have the carbon monoxide buildup. People are going to get sick. And so we want to make sure that we definitely stress that. Very, 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 very important.
We've stressed it. I hope everybody out there understands how important we feel this is, that read the manual, understand what's in the manual. If you purchase from us, or you're looking to purchase from us, we'll walk through the manual with you and your scenario, what situation you're putting this unit into, because we want to keep everyone safe. With that said, there are some pretty cool setups out there. sweet setups for outdoor fireplaces nowadays. And I remember when fire pits were like starting to really blow and go, right? And now it's like we are literally bringing the inside outside. And all of a sudden you have these rooms with fireplaces and roofs overhead and televisions, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I'd ever go inside.
Yeah, it's unlimited now. You can literally live outside these days.
Well, unless you live in Michigan where we just got 8 inches of snow.
Oh, goodness.
You have fire-related questions, and we have answers. You can email us your questions at podcast@woodlanddirect.com or give us a call at 586-221-3638. We would love to be able to answer them right here on the Experts in Fire podcast. What are options that people have?
Let's talk about the other one that I start to see a lot. And this is fully screened in porches with some type of window that's going to close in the fall season. In some of the southern areas, they're called Florida rooms. Up here, we call them 4-season rooms because it's like 20 degrees outside, 8 inches of snow here in Michigan. So somebody that may have a patio on the back of their house might have storm windows on it. They're still using right now because they want to go sit out there, but maybe they have a source of heat out there, like a patio heater, and they want a fireplace in that room. So even though it's an extension patio to the house, it is enclosed. It's essentially a confined space. This is really like it's an outdoor room, but you want to treat it as it's an indoor room. So now safety becomes real important. Obviously, we can't put one of the fully open outdoor rated fireplaces we just talked about into that space. So we can use a direct vent fireplace. We have a specific fireplace. It's called a direct vent that is designed for outside usage. There are some parameters that have to be met for this, meaning you have to have a roof that extends so far off the wall to cover based on the installation placement of the unit. Now, the great thing about this fireplace, Mike, is this same fireplace, because they go all the way up to like 72 inches, they can still be used in an outdoor patio application. As long as it has a roof on it, it can still be fully open on all 3 sides. So we're not confined to this fireplace being specifically for a Florida room / 4-season style room. It is just the only one that is allowed to go into the Florida 4-season room. And the reason being is it's a direct vent, Mike. You're going to have a vent pipe that either vents through the roof of that patio extended area on your home or out the back sidewall of the house. So if you build this patio and you've got like a privacy fence on the back side where you're going to put the fireplace, you can simply go up, whatever, 12 inches, 90, and go straight out the back with the vent pipe, as long as it meets the safety and requirements from the ground up on the outside. Or you can vent it up through the roof, Mike.
We've got a unit that can go into the 4 seasons and then extend outside. And I think that's a great way to express it. When you're looking at that manual, it's going to be, hey, this has to be outside, and it cannot go inside.
Correct.
But the units that can go inside can still extend to the outside as well. They're safe for that inside space that you were talking about with 3 walls, 4 walls, but also can be put into what I see a lot of times is I don't even know what to call it, Randy, a 3/4 wall outside that someone would build. Some people build them as kind of a privacy wall, and they put a fireplace there so they can't see their neighbors. They just see a beautiful fireplace.
Absolutely. It's just a divider wall from like you said, from the neighbor's home to yours, and that's where they're going to put their fireplace at. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think we're giving everyone an idea of the importance of understanding where this fire is going to go. Even though it's outside, quote unquote, outside, are there walls around it? Are there screens? Is it technically an inside kind of place? If you're not sure, give us a call. We can walk through that with you. We have products that satisfy all the way outside to that type of environment. Or is it just an outside wall that you're wanting to go with? Like we described, separating you and the neighbors. We have product for that as well. Now, what are some things that folks should consider? Now they know, am I completely outdoor or am I quasi-indoor or considered fully indoor? What do I need to consider now with that fireplace?
once we've figured out where it's going to go, determine what the application is going to be, it's going to be size, options, aesthetics, and things like that, what they're looking for, because we're going to be able to get these available 36 inch up to 72 inch. We're starting to see a lot of folks use the see-through version where they want to see from their patio to the outside area. And all of these things we've talked about are going to be the same application, okay? Just because maybe somebody has the Four Seasons room with these windows, Florida room with these windows, they do a see-through, and they want to use the outdoor see-through version, you're still not going to have enough air exchange to be able to do that. It's still a confined, like enclosed space. So those are still some of the other options, but then it just comes down to the size and what option somebody may want for it. One of the real importance, you brought it up earlier, is are they putting a TV above it? If they are putting a TV above it, there are some clearances that have to be met in order to do this. There are some specifications on mantle placement, mantle length to be able to offset the heat. Because outdoor units, Mike, even though they're outdoors and it's still fully open, the heat is still going to come up off the top of those things. And the last thing that I want to see one of my clients do is, put a nice 60, 70 inch TV above their fireplace, not consider those clearances, and they just burned up, $1,000, $2,000 TV on the outside of their home. So those are other important things to consider as well as far as that placement goes. Most patios, when you're building them like a Four Seasons room, you may only be working with a small 8-foot ceiling or something like that. So you want to make sure that you get the right fireplace so that you're not putting, a 12-inch TV above it because you don't have enough room based on the fireplace placement. There are a couple other things that we want to work through, with folks as far as placement goes. I don't want folks to think that this is just residential. These things apply to commercial properties as well. I do a lot of commercial property, so everything we've talked about applies to that application also.
Absolutely. These things seem so simple. And like I said, I love scrolling Instagram. My wife and I will sit down and roll through Pinterest as we walk through ideas for our house. And there's so many neat things that you see. But being in the industry that we're in, there are so many times where my wife will go, "Oh, that's nice." And I'll go, "That's not even close to legal, babe."
Yeah, right. Yes.
When it comes to the outdoors, indoors, it gets kind of gray. And that's why we constantly lean back to the manufacturer, because it's not gray. When you take that fireplace and you choose to put it into a space, the manufacturer of that fireplace has already walked through what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable. And I want to make sure that everybody knows what they can and can't do before they just run to Pinterest and go, "That's a great idea, I'm doing that," and either waste a whole bunch of money or they put themselves in an unsafe situation.
One of the things I wanted to touch on, we're talking about safety here, is this. And regardless of a model that somebody chooses, whether their build is fully outdoors and they're choosing the outdoor fireplace, or they're choosing one because they need that fully enclosed style, extremely important, aside from all of the builds and the installation, is the media that goes on the inside of these, Mike. The media that goes on the insides of these fireplaces are specific to the manufacturer's offerings. We do not want to go outside and deviate from, "Oh, I saw this really cool log set over here, I'm just going to put that in my fireplace because I like it better." No, we cannot do that. As you mentioned, the manufacturers spend a lot of time, effort, and monies to have these things engineered, tested for safety based on the materials that they provide and design it for. So just to stress that part of it, because I do get that call a lot. Maybe they didn't buy the fireplace from us and they call because they want this log set. And I always ask them, "Well, no problem, but where are you putting it? What is it? What's the application?" And it's, folks don't know, and that's fine. We don't expect folks to know. I want to stress that. That's what you use us for. We know. Let us ask the question and get you the proper materials that you need for your installation that's going to work safely.
That's a great. I'm so glad you brought that up, Randy, because media, especially, again, you start talking about outdoors. It's kind of outdoors. I can do whatever I want, right? No, be in tune with what the manufacturer says you can do with that specific unit. There are considerations that they need as well when it comes to gas lines, when it comes to electrical, when it would help them understand, help all of us understand, installing this thing, what am I going to need to be thinking about before I ever start to build the wall?
No, great question. So now we've landed on a fireplace. No matter what the application is, we've landed on that fireplace. Okay, here I can provide a diagram of the gas line comes in on the left side. The electric's going to have to come in on the right side because maybe that's where the electrical, we'll call the J box, comes in. And so we'll be able to provide all of the technical information that's needed so that essentially a lot of my builders will pre-build frame and get all their concrete poured, get all of this stuff laid out. And then when that fireplace comes, they're ready to go. They're able to drop it in place. The gas plumber is able to make their connection. The electrician's able to make their connection and get it built out prematurely. They don't slow production down as much as possible, because the unfortunate thing about our times right now in the pandemic, and we still have some challenges with manufacturing. And it doesn't matter if you're in Canada or if you're in the US. So a fireplace might take 3-4 weeks. So we're able to provide as much information for that installation to get all of that pre-built as much as possible until that unit gets in place.
We've talked a lot about these outdoor fireplaces. I'll be honest, when we were approaching this episode, I thought, well, this will be pretty quick, but we've covered a lot of ground here. And it's one of the things I love about sitting and talking with you in terms of just your expertise and your experience and what you bring to the table and knowledge of the brands and the products that we carry. Is there anything else that we might be missing that you wanted to touch base on?
I appreciate that, Mike. We'll go back to that direct vent unit that can be used outside. We talked about the outdoor units, fully open, no glass front. When you use a unit in that fully enclosed space, or you're going to use it with a roof over top outdoors, that direct vent, I do want to stress to folks that that unit does have a solid glass panel front on it. Okay, so and the reason we can use that unit in that Four Seasons room is because a direct vent is a sealed system. So the vent pipe that's going to the outside, Mike, what it is doing, it's pulling in fresh air from the outside and exhausting that gas through that flue pipe. So that's why that model can be used in that fully enclosed, screened-in porch with storm window application for safety reasons. The glass front must always stay in place, okay? That fireplace is going to ship with a child protective screen, so that if somebody does have little ones, that's what that screen is for. It's a child protective screen so that they don't go and hit the glass and burn their hand. But for the fireplace to work properly in that space, just like if it's going to be inside somebody's house, it has to have that glass front. So that's another big difference between these fireplaces and the operation and how they work.
No, that's excellent, because sometimes we talk about this stuff all the time, and we talk at a level that of expectation that other people who are listening should understand, and we apologize. If we've done that at any point in any of our podcasts, please reach out to us. There are multiple ways for you to get to us. Ask the questions. No question is a dumb question. I can tell you, almost 9 years ago now, I hired in at Woodland Direct, and Randy was one of the guys that I leaned on every day just to go, Randy, what is this guy talking about? And it's funny because everyone around the country speaks a different language when it comes to fire. And they know what they're saying, and I didn't have a clue. You were like my translator, Randy. And
appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you, brother. So thank you for bringing that up for our listeners out there. And then if you got lost somewhere, or you say, wait, hold on, guys, you need to touch on this, reach out and let us know. We'll be happy to add that in somewhere and talk about what you want to hear about. I know multiple times folks have reached out, our listeners have reached out, and Randy has reached back to them specifically. I don't think we've ever really talked about it here on the podcast, but Randy has reached out just to answer questions and help people understand how to stay safe. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Randy, as always, brother, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for spending time with us today.
Oh, thank you, Mike. You have a great afternoon, sir.
I'm going to shovel. That's what I'm going to do.
Who are you kidding? You ain't going to shovel. You're going to break out the tractor and push that snow.
You know what? God bless tractors with enclosed cabs. Join us next time for What to Consider Before Purchasing a Patio Heater. We'll see you then.